Howdy folks, welcome to another Empyrion update. This is 6.0 Experimental Part 3, and as you see here, the landing sequence has now been altered again. So when you come in for a crash landing, you now have a little shack, improvised shack here that basically is abandoned and you can use as your starter location. And so it has a few basic things, and so instead of putting a whole bunch of stuff in the escape pod, it's now in here. Another thing that's been added is the tier 1 drill now does stone removal, and when you remove the stones on Akua and Omicron at least, you get some resources. And so you can get each of the resources, you can get a bit of each, or little of each, or just one, or whatever. And you can get the iron and magnesium and silicon, copper, and cobalt. Like that. There we go. And so this is another way to get resources right now in the early game. And there are also Promethium Rocks, if I can find one. And here we go. We found one here, which is going to be really fun trying to drill these underwater, but you can actually get Promethium. And so we'll see there's another one over here. And yeah, so now when you're underwater getting seaweed, you can also stop and get Promethium. Like that. The trading posts now have an NPC trader who is not yet completed, but as you can see, they are going to be adding in some trading, and they also have something to protect them, which is these guys, the assault cyborg. And yeah, they look a little dangerous there. I'm not sure how tough they are. Yeah, I guess they're pretty good. The star map has been updated. Now you can only see neighboring systems. You have to actually go to them in order to find out what else is on the map. In the YAML files for the playfields, you can now set an AllowCV true or false flag. And so this will prevent CVs from being spawned or flying into the atmosphere of any particular playfield. The Omicron and Akua sectors now have drone bases in space which launch plasma drones from them. And one other very handy update is that now when you log off in the cockpit of a ship and you quit the game, when you come back in, you are now in the cockpit again, so you don't get jumped out into space out of the cockpit of the ship. And that's about all the major features for this update. They did say they added acid rain on Masperon and hail on Ningues, but I have not been able to get them to work. So I will let you guys know if I figure that out. But yeah, that's the major points for the third part. And they are talking about doing a fourth part again. And so hopefully we'll see some more of the improvements of all this stuff that's been going on. So yeah, and if you are playing the experimental, then you will see all these changes. If you're not playing the experimental, you can opt into it. There will be instructions in the video description below on how to opt in, but be warned that, you know, there are bugs. It is an experimental and bad things can happen. So if the bugs are going to drive you nuts, then, you know, just wait for it to come out unstable. Anyway, see you in the next video.